Hello and welcome to the 2026 Opening Day Countdown, a series where we are counting down to opening day by previewing all 30 teams in Major League Baseball. Yesterday we spoke about the Pittsburgh Pirates, and today we're talking about the Los Angeles Angels. Last year the Angels finished with a record of 72 and 90, fifth place in AL West, and without further ado, let's get into it. So the Angels' offense isn't the best. Like they have some good hitters, like Mancada. He's their best hitter by BFIP plus, but he only played half the year last year. He's someone that you're hoping can bounce back health wise because he's really struggled with injuries throughout his career. So he's someone that you're really hoping can get your full healthy season out of. If we look at his splits against righties is where he does most of his damage. 125 WRC plus, a 131 BFIP plus. But against lefties, it's not as great. Only at 37 WRC plus and 66 BFIP plus. I know that Mancada is a switch hitter, but his swing from the right hand side, it sort of lags from his left hand swing, and that's sort of why he struggles against lefties, even though like he does get the platoon advantage. So I think he will get platooned be in a strong side of a platoon for the Angels. They also have Jo Adell, who was a center fielder last year and sort of had a mini breakout. 112 WRC plus, 124 BFIP plus. But he's someone who, based on reports, might get moved to right field because one of their trade acquisitions, Josh Lowe, he is actually projected to be their center fielder. He's gotten some reps in center field. It's been announced that he may be their center fielder on opening day. So, yeah, Josh Lowe, you can see the offensive numbers not that great with him, but he is sort of a strong side platoon hitter. I get that the BFIP plus isn't that great, but in the past he's been a lot better against righties. So you're sort of hoping for a bounce back from him. And against lefties, he's a left-handed hitter, so you're not really expecting much, and you're not really getting much. Yeah, it's a pretty good offense. Uh, there's a lot of strikeouts across the board, and that's sort of the big weakness with the Angels, that they strike out a ton. But one of the guys who doesn't strike out, Nolan Shanwell, is funny enough. Like he plays first base, and that's one of the positions where you kind of can afford a guy who strikes out a ton, because usually first basemen, they strike out a bunch, hit a ton of barrels, but Channel's the opposite. He doesn't strike out a ton, doesn't really hit the ball that hard, but he does walk a ton. So he's sort of that like, uh, gets on base, not much power, that sort of profile. And yeah, he's still an above average hitter overall. And Neto, their franchise shortstop, uh, good hitting, 116 WRC plus, 111 BFO plus. He's someone that should be in the lineup every day, because if you look at the splits, like these guys are, again, generally like your right-handed hitters are your best hitters overall, and that's the case here. But against lefties, Neto's also like one of your best hitters, along with Jo Adell. Mike Trout, weirdly enough, is below average against lefties, even though he's a right-handed hitter. But he was great against righties, like 128 WRC plus, 130 BFIP plus, and that's why overall he's still a great hitter. Not the Mike Trout that we've seen in the past, but still above average hitter overall. Like, and again, like you got a healthy season out of him. That's great to see. Hopefully, you can get that again. Playing him at DH. So yeah, that's the hitting. Now on to the pitching. Uh, this pitching staff is sort of like has a ton of question marks, because first of all, they do have Soriano and Kikuchi. Those are their only two. I should say, like, the only two guys what you're getting out of them. Soriano and Kikuchi. They were below average by BFIP, 422 for Soriano and 437 for Kikuchi. But these three aren't going to be in the starting rotation, most likely, because what you do have is Grayson Rodriguez and Alek Manoah, who didn't pitch at all last year in the big leagues. Grayson Rodriguez due to injury, Alek Manoah partially due to injury, but he also pitched a bit in the minors. But and then your fifth spot is actually going to be Reed Detmers, who was a reliever last year. He used to be a starter. He wasn't that great, but then he moved to Penn last year. Was very good in that role. 3.96 ERA, 3.30 BFIP. So he's someone where you're sort of hoping he can make that transition back to starting. He did make a few changes. I believe his stuff did get better, but I think that's mostly due to him basically the stuff just ticked up because he was in the bullpen, like not necessarily because he was doing too much differently. Yeah, this bullpen is solid. Like you did sign Drew Pomeranz, who great lefty, ton of strikeouts, 217 ERA, 357 BFIP. Ryan Johnson probably it was weird what they did with him. Like he was pretty bad in the majors. Like they started him in the majors right away after they drafted him, but now he's back in the minors as a starter instead of a reliever. He's probably not going to be pitching in the majors, but just someone I wanted to touch on real quick. And obviously, Safsu or Yates. It's just some more average arms than Romano. Very bad last year, like 8.2 ERA. That's not what you want to see, but peripherals are better, like 420 BFIP. Sierra and xERA are actually have him at sub 4 marks. I don't think he's a sub 4 ERA guy. I think he's posted to like that 4-5, maybe even 5 ERA that FIP and xFIP suggest for him. But he's probably better than what he did last year with the Phillies, and he's probably going to be a factor in that bullpen. So, yeah, that's what I have for the pitching. So now let's get into predicted lineups. At catcher, I have Logan O'Hoppe every day. Like offensively, O'Hoppe and d'Arnaud are very similar. Like you see, ton of strikeouts, doesn't really get on base a ton, and hits the ball pretty hard. But I went with O'Hoppe just because like he's younger, like he's a bit better defensively and also a bit better offensively. But I think it could be like sort of a 50-50 or maybe 60-40 timeshare between O'Hoppe and d'Arnaud. So that's why I have O'Hoppe sort of the regular guy at catcher. First base, of course, Shanwell every day. Second base, Christian Moore every day. Christian Moore, not great offensively at all. Like 82 WRC plus, and he was actually lucky according to that because his BFIP was a lot lower. BFIP plus was just 66. So, like, he's like a young guy. You drafted him just in 2024. So, he's someone that you really want to just give him the reps, see if he can really figure it out in his first full season. And just sort of like figure it out. At third base, I have Moncada on the strong side of Vaughn Grissom. I sort of was debating between Vaughn Grissom and Denzer Guzman. Guzman did play in the majors. Grissom didn't. So it was sort of like I don't just want to go with Guzman just because like he's been in the majors. So I sort of like went with more the AAA stats just to see it with a larger sample. And so Vaughn Grissom had a 106 WRC plus and a 114 BFIP plus for Boston last year at AAA. And Denzer Guzman, a 103 WRC plus, but a BFIP plus is just 87. So he was really overperforming even at AAA. And so that's why I went with Vaughn Grissom, even though he didn't get any opportunities in the majors. And Fangas agrees. Like Fangas does have Grissom in that first side platoon role with Yohan Moncada. In the shortstop, of course, Zach Netter every day. Left field, you have Jorge Soler every day. Right field, Jo Adell. Jo Adell was a center fielder last year, but he's moving to right field because they didn't have reports that Josh Lowe is going to be playing in center field. So I have Josh Lowe at center field in a platoon with Kevin Paris. Again, just another situation where I was between Kevin Paris and Teodosio. I did keep Teodosio in the roster just because he's very good defensively. But with the bat, like, Paris is just better. Like, I know this... I'm not buying this sample, even though it was good. I'm going based off the AAA stats. And at AAA, Kevin Paris had a 104 WRC plus and a 128 BFIP plus. And Teodosio had a 111 WRC plus and just an 80 BFIP plus. So that's a gap of nearly 50 points in BFIP plus. And that's like really significant. So that's why I went with Kevin Paris. Though I do still have Teodosio on the roster just for that defense. And again, Mike Trout, he's your DH. He's been pretty injury prone playing the field, so that's why I have him as a DH. You could argue he could play corner outfield, like maybe Adele plays DH a bit or Soler plays DH a bit because they're not the best defenders. But I think you do have to consider about preserving health here. So yeah, pitching staff again, Soriano and Kikuchi are really the two guys I already know what you're getting from. I know like last year, I'm gonna like show everybody. I know last year Soriano and Kikuchi, they were below average, but they did get Mike Maddox in the offseason, a very good pitching coach from the Rangers. And so I think Maddox can really help this pitching staff as a whole. Maybe they don't turn into aces, but they should be solid arms. Sirianni has good stuff. Kikuchi, good stuff from the left side. So that's your top two. Detmers as your three. Like I'm hoping he can uh be solid in that starting role. Like I know I said he wasn't that great. Like I didn't say like he was that great. Sorry, I meant he was like his gains were mostly due to him being in the bullpen. But he has been a solid starter in the past, and I think especially with Mike Maddox, he's someone that can bounce back. And then Grayson Rodriguez and Alek Manoah running out your rotation, you're not really knowing what you're getting out of them just because they're just like massive question marks. But you do have, say, Jack Kahanowitz who can fill in if those guys don't really pan out. Mitch Ferris and Caden Dana. Also Samuel Aldegari, who can probably give you some innings in rotation if, say, Grayson Rodriguez gets hurt again or Alek Manoah doesn't pitch the way you were hoping for. At the closer spot, I have Robert Stevenson. He's one of their better relievers. Small sample, but again, 270 ERA rate, 3-1 BFIP. Ben Joyce is normally their closer, and I think he will be the closer by the end of the year, but he's someone that will miss opening day with a injury. I believe it's a shoulder injury off the top of my head. So he's Ben Joyce is someone that should be the closer by the end of the year, but at the start of the year is probably going to be Stevenson or Yates. Pomeranz is going to be in more of a setup role, most likely. I said this before, but usually lefties don't really get closing opportunities. They can sometimes, but not that often. And then to round out the bullpen, Chase Silverstuff, Sam Bachman, Jordan Romano, Brent Suter, and Ryan Jefferson. Again, those are some pretty solid arms. Like Silverstuff is a above average arm. Bachman's an above average arm. It's small samples, but I believe Fangas does also have those guys in the bullpen, in the big league bullpen. So those are two arms that I think could make decent impact in middle relief. Well, as much an impact as you could make in middle relief. Yeah, that's what I have for the lineup preview. As for the war projections, not many top end talent. Neto's your only player with a war above 3, and you have Mike Trout and Joe Adele as 2 war players. Gray Rod, you're not really knowing what you're getting, but if you're getting like similar to 2023 or 2024, you probably take that. Soriano, you're hoping for more from this. Same with Akuchi, just based on like Mike Maddox potentially like unlocking something out of them, and then like a lot of one war guys around. Yeah, the one projection for the Angels is 67.95, fifth in the AL West, so not really an improvement based on the standings, and also a bit of a step down based off the record. But again, like let's say Neto takes a step up or Trout has more of a Trout-like season, you can still have a pretty good year. But I don't really see the Angels being a playoff team, just because the offense is fine but not the best, and also the pitching is just like very weak and not much depth in there. So we'll see. Like maybe Mike Maddox can unlock some things, like, but it's definitely like a big step between 90 losses and 90 wins, which is pretty close to what you're gonna need to make a playoff. So yeah, that's what I have for the Angels. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.